Good evening, everyone, to our Village Board of Trustee meeting, Monday, January 5th at 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Can everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone please sit down. Roll call participants. Trustee Alpert?
Present.
Deputy Mayor Corrigan?
Present.
Trustee Hogue?
Present.
And Trustee Osborn had an engagement he had to be at. He won't be here this evening. Upcoming meeting, a regular meeting is scheduled for Monday, February 2nd, 2025. And a regular meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 2nd, 2025. Can I have a motion approving the December 1st, 2025 Board of Trustees meeting minutes, please?
Motion, Trustee Alpert.
Motion made by Trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Can I have a motion for approval of December 1st, 2025 reorganizational meeting, please? Motion, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made by Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now we'll go to the public hearing part. The continuance of public hearing for 14 Wayne Avenue. Their attorney, Ira Emanuel, had asked that we adjourn the public hearing without date due to the fact he feels he has to go back to the planning board. He had requested this, so I'll take a motion to adjourn without date 14 Wayne Avenue. Motion, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Alpert.
Second made by Trustee Alpert. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And then continues to amend Chapter 266 of the Code of Village of Suffern, the zoning local law by adding a new section prohibiting short-term rental in the Village of Suffern. Towards the end of the month, the planning board has a meeting coming up, so we're going to wait for their comments. So we're going to also have a motion to adjourn that to the February 2nd, 2026 meeting. Motion, please?
Trustee.
Motion made by Trustee Hogue, second made by Trustee Corrigan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We put in for a grant for a we have to set up a public hearing for 2026 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, for February 2nd, 2026. Can I have a motion setting that public hearing, please? Motion?
Motion, Trustee Alpert.
Motion made by Trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Second by Trustee Corrigan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Anything for the attorney at this point? Police Department, Chief Loughlin, please.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
In the month of December, the police department responded to 805 calls for service, bringing our total annual calls for service to 11,303 for 2025. I just have one agenda item for the board's consideration tonight. At this time, I would like to request that the board nominate Mr. Brian Block to the position of part-time police officer. Mr. Block is currently a full-time police sergeant with the Town of Haverstraw Police Department, plans on retiring in the month of January. Prior to becoming a police officer, he has extensive public service experience in dispatching, both for the county and for the Town of Haverstraw, and like I said, he did an entire 20-something year career with the Haverstraw Police Department. Additionally, he is also a volunteer fireman with the Suffern Volunteer Fire Department. By nominating him tonight, that will allow Rockland County Department of Personnel to clear him for appointment at a future meeting.
That's good. Can I have a motion to authorize the nomination of Brian Block, the position of police officer part-time? Motion, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee
Second made
Hogue.
by Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Chief.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Very good, sir. At this point, I'd like to, for the fire department, I'd like to have a motion to them to host the AFC NFC football fundraiser at Volunteer Host Company number 1 on Sunday, January 25th from 3 to 10 p.m. This is an annual event they've been doing for years. So can I get a motion, please?
Trustee Hogue.
Motion made by Trustee Hogue. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Second made by Trustee Corrigan. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. At this point, I'd like to open up public comment. Can I have a motion to open up public comment, please?
Motion, Trustee Alpert.
Motion made by Trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee
Second made by
Hogue.
Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Does anyone from the public have any comments? I will just announce that we constantly have emails from people, calls from people all day, all week long, and we constantly, myself and the departments and this board, we answer people. And I think that has over time made it where people don't come to as many meetings because we've become so accessible and so transparent. From the police department, to the fire department, to the recreation, to the building department, to everything that hears, public works, and it's a constant, and it just, we constantly address those situations and tell them what we can do, what we can't do. So, I just want to mention one thing on Crestwood Lane, Chief. I want to, if we could send up the speed radar machine to track the speeds and stuff, because I've had some, people have concerns about, the speeding is a problem in this whole country, obviously. If you look how many tickets are given out all over the country every day, but it's something that we always have to address as well here. We've also, with Charles Sawicki here, we're ordering some stop signs that are solar and that blink. So we have a couple coming in. We're going to put them up first, and we should be getting many more of those. All right. So there'll be many. We'll see where they're needed, but it won't be like 2 or 3 in a town. There could be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 inside the village. Within months. Okay. And and that's it on that. Okay, being there's no one for public comment, can I please have a motion to close the public comment period?
Motion, Trustee Alpert.
Motion made by Trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second by Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Department of Public Works, Charles Sawicki, please.
Good evening. Item A, resolution requesting authorization for change order number 5 for Cupola Services, Inc. for the sewage treatment plant UV replacement project for a contract decrease of $33,515.68.
Sure. Can I have a motion authorizing the change order number 5 for Cupola Services, Inc. for the SCP UV replacement project for a contract decrease of $33,515.68. Motion, please.
Motion, Trustee
Motion
Alpert.
made by Trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Second made by Trustee Clarke. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Item B, resolution authorizing change order number 1 for DS Meyer for the Phase 2025 right-of-way improvement project in the amount of $59,884.
Authorizing change order number 1 for DS Myers for the Phase 2025 right-of-way improvement project, amount of $59,884. Motion, please.
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee
Second made by
Hogue.
Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Item C, resolution requesting authorization to accept a proposal for a copper minimization plan from Pittengarrow and Deutsch Consulting Engineers in the amount of $16,800.
Right. Well, we like other municipalities, in the waste itself, the copper that comes off pipes and whatnot, so we have to come up with a plan showing how we can, minimize that. So this engineer is assisting us in that, as well as with Charles and our workers in the wastewater treatment plant. So I got a motion, please, requesting authorization to accept the proposal for the copper minimization plan from Pittengarrow and Deutsch Consulting Engineers, amount of $16,800, please. Motion, please.
Motion, Trustee
Motion
Alpert.
made by Trustee Albert. Second, please.
Second, Trustee
Second made by
Hogue.
Trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. So,
Okay, thank you.
I know the treasurer's dying to come up and hang out in front of me, so come on up, Mr. Gregg.
Good evening, Mayor Curley. Good evening, Board of Trustees. One agenda item, resolution to secure fixed pricing for gas for the village. It's a 2-year commitment, and this price fixed is better than the last price fixed we had 2 years ago, and much better than O&R.
Yes, we paid attention to the daily operation of things, and we actually hit it right. So, can I get a motion, authorize the mayor to execute a contract with the city Power and Gas for the supply of gas, please? A motion, please?
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made by Trustee, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'll be putting some out to the public here, but I've been dealing with the county well, before I go, any executive session? Anybody want to go into, Chief, you want to go into executive session? No, I thought you seem to like that. Could I have, no one else? Okay, no executive session. Trustees, any comments on anything, please? No, okay. I've been dealing with the county, I mentioned it before, where we got $1 million in reference to Memorial Drive, okay? Well, they're now, and I'm still working on getting other monies from the federal government and whatnot, and we'll see in time if that can happen, and even actually FEMA money also, we had made applications in and we're waiting on that, but we're going to go ahead with the plans of Memorial Drive with an engineering firm, do the county, and they'll do the land surveying and environmental, and we'll also then, I'm going to go to the public and ask them what they'd like, whether we can do, the 2 lanes there, plus a sidewalk on Memorial Drive, or if it's a 1 lane, you know what I mean? I mean, chances are, it'll be a 2 lane, okay? It's whether the sidewalk, if you do the sidewalk, if you have to do eminent domain on the one side, and if it takes that much longer or not, okay? But the idea is, and, the board has been working on this with me for a while, so we're here to work further to get that road open down the line, and get as much monies as we can. So if you see them out there working in January here, Charles will be out there with me, and we'll be out there with them too at some points. That's what the purpose of that is, to go ahead and maybe rip-rap the Mawa River there and do the other work, repaving, fixing the roads, and we go with there. I had worked with Vince Altieri. He actually was the commissioner of that, and he had passed away. So I'm actually working with someone else now. But he was a judge in Suffern a long time, and he's a good person. But he's in heaven now. So, but we're still moving ahead, and he's helping us while he's in heaven to move it ahead. Okay. So, thank you on that. Let's see, one more thing. I just want to have a motion to authorize the mayor to execute an intermunicipal agreement for the participation in Rockland County Intelligence Center and Regional Investigative Resources Center, and the first amendment thereof. There are 2. This is where a lot of times when we have situations in the village, and Andy did, the chief deals with it all the time, and the detectives, where you need the county or even the town. So we each we'll send a guy, the county set up a new program where they'll actually pay for that guy 1 day a week, and even at an overtime rate. So we can send one guy to one bureau and one guy to the other bureau, like the task force, okay? And one to the intelligence unit, huh? And one, they get experience, and it keeps Suffern in the know for intelligence and also drugs or things that unfortunately go on. So, I'll be sitting down with Andy on that, and he's working with the police agency himself, not me. He does that for us, for the benefit of the residents of Suffern. So we will be participating in that. Just got a few fine details to go over, and we'll be fine. Okay. So can I have a motion authorizing the mayor to execute an intramural agreement for participating in the Rockland County Intelligence Center and Regional Investigation Resource Center? Motion, please.
Trustee Corrigan.
Motion made by Trustee Corrigan. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee
Second
Alpert.
made by Trustee Alpert. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Think anyone have anything else to say? Nothing? Okay. I think we had a very good year with a lot of events. We'll actually be doing more. I've been dealing with the carnival people. We'll be doing another carnival, May 28th to May 31st. And I think it'll be, hopefully we get the weather. Hopefully I don't have to sing in the rain. But the village actually, brought in money. We helped out football. We helped out Little League with that money. And when any expenses Suffern had overtime was paid, we pulled in, I think, off memory, about $12,900 from that carnival. We get a percentage of it, and I think that's good. And if we didn't have the rain, I think we'd be at $15,000 to $20,000. So, it's bringing back the old times back to Suffern. It is your dad's Chevrolet. Whereas the commercial was, it's not your father's Chevrolet. Well, it is. I like my father's Chevrolet, so I'm bringing it back. So, being as, I guess we're done with everything here, folks. And based on that, I have a motion to close the meeting, please.
Motion, Trustee Alpert.
Motion made by trustee Alpert. Can I get a second, please?
Second, Trustee Hogue.
Second made by trustee Hogue. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Have a nice day, folks. Thank you very much.